Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I want to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Obviously a stock we've been covering on this channel for quite some time now. I want to say that it's getting close to like 2 months. And throughout those past 2 months, there's been a lot of big stories, a lot of big news, and a lot of ups and downs just in the overall like volatility of the stock price for Sofi. It's what's made it so interesting to cover. It's what makes it so interesting to talk about. And I think that's why people like following them. That's why these videos do relatively well, especially when you compared to some of the other stocks that we've covered on my channel. But this is ticker symbol SOFI, as I'm sure many of you do know, but in case you don't, ticker symbol is the same as the stock name. And today was kind of a rough day for Sofi, at least as the share price. We were down 3.23% today. Earlier in the day we were up, and then things just kind of came crashing back down. But there is still a lot to talk about from this past weekend and headed into this next week for the stock. So we'll be going over all that in this video today. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Of course, as always, no financial advice or anything like that in this video. Not telling you to buy, sell, do anything like that. Just going over some of the news, giving my thoughts and opinions, and sometimes talking about stuff from my own investing perspective as well. But with that being said, let's get right into this. Yeah, kind of a weird day for Sofi. Like I said, we were up earlier in the day. We got all the way up to 1284. Intraday high was 1287. Before, kind of giving some of those gains back all the way down to an intraday low of 1192. Actually below a $10 billion market cap now. And hey, when you look at, year to date, stuff has been really weird for Sofi, but there's a ton of stocks in the market that look exactly like this right now, being down 23%. I know that some people had hoped or expected or really wanted this to be a great week or maybe even a great Monday for Sofi stock, especially right after the Super Bowl, where Sofi was really seen front and center throughout a lot of the game, obviously being in SoFi Stadium, and just having so many eyeballs on that. And in some ways, we did see an uptick in like searches for Sofi, and we saw an uptick in just people learning about the name and the brand. So in a lot of ways, I do think it was good, but as I said before the Super Bowl, I did not think that was going to lead to an immediate impact in ticker price appreciation. That just literally made no sense to me. Now maybe we will see more people downloading the app, maybe we'll see more people checking it out, but that stuff like that doesn't have anything to do with the share price in the short term. But it could be something that actually sees some customer acquisition later on down the road, some customer growth. But that'll take, months to see, and in earnings reports and stuff in the future. We're so far away from that. I know people are talking about, the Super Bowl short squeeze or whatever. And like, no, that's one, that wouldn't even make much sense. Two, that definitely wouldn't be healthy. That wouldn't be a great thing. And three, I just really didn't expect that to happen. So I know some people are a little bit disappointed that SoFi is down 3% today, but again, broader market was down. Dow Jones down, S&P down, NASDAQ down, Russell down. And whenever those indices are down, not whenever, but most of the time, whenever those indices are down, SoFi is also going to be down, and it's usually going to be down bigger. It's one of those stocks that's going to outperform on the upside and on the downside. So we saw the markets down today, all the indices down today. SoFi is down a significant amount more than them, but that's not totally surprising or shocking. Getting into some of the news from the SoFi stock subreddit, obviously people were saying no Super Bowl ad equals Noto adjusting to the macro environment. Obviously Anthony Noto is the CEO for SoFi. And this post at least, kind of brings up the point of, hey, Noto decided to pass on a Super Bowl ad, and that's bullish to this guy. Right now, profitable companies are favored over growth. I know we're still investing 70% of growth and 30% of bottom line. Perhaps passing on the huge cost of Super Bowl ad will help us show a faster path to profitability on our quarter earnings guidance. And I agree that not getting out a Super Bowl ad was a good call, but I don't necessarily agree for the same reasons as this guy. I just think a Super Bowl ad would have been a big waste of money. Like, would it have been an awesome opportunity to, talk about some of the new stuff? Like, hey, maybe talk about the bank charter. We're SoFi banking now. We're SoFi Bank, whatever. Could it have been a time to talk about 1% APY on checking accounts? Sure. Or SoFi, kind of refinancing student loans, which, we're still a couple months away from that, so it wouldn't necessarily have been a great time for that. Maybe talking about SoFi margin trading, which is a new feature. I don't know. I don't really think there was some things that could have potentially been successful. But again, SoFi is overall just a whole suite of financial services and stuff, and already being already having the naming rights to the stadium and having everyone see SoFi all the time. That was their advertisement. That was what they already paid for. This is them getting a return on that naming rights investment. And I thought that should have been plenty. Now, is that, maybe as effective as, a really, really good advertisement? No, not necessarily. But, when you already paid for all the naming rights, that's already a really, really expensive deal, obviously. And you're already seeing that uptick in searches and stuff. You can just have things already out there on the internet. You can have, promotional pieces and things in place that are already telling everyone about all the cool new stuff you're doing. So then when they go and Google SoFi, like, oh, what even is SoFi? What the heck is this? Can I check it out? Can I download it? Whatever. Then they're hit with, your ads and stuff like that, rather than paying all this money for a Super Bowl ad, which again, when you already have the naming rights to the stadium, it wouldn't have been a complete and total waste, but I do feel like it would have been probably a bad decision in the end. So I do love that this decision from SoFi. Like, yeah, it would have been cool to see a Super Bowl ad, yes, but I don't think it would have been a great business decision. But, that's just my opinion. Obviously, it's the opinion that SoFi must have come to as well. Then we have this as well. SoFi, Google Trends for the past day. This was, during the Super Bowl. Hey, things were spiking. Now, I don't love this. Looking at searches on just a one-day chart, you don't have enough relativity. There's not enough to compare it to. You don't know how big of a spike this actually was, but it does show you that, during the Super Bowl, things were spiking. During the game, searches were going up, before the game, leading up to the game, and then during the game. So SoFi Stadium was front and center. People were looking up. People were searching it. This was overall very, very good news for SoFi. Then we do have, there was a lot of people on social media, including Robert Woods, and I know there was other people as well, celebrities and athletes and TikTokers and whatever, doing kind of SoFi advertisement and stuff. You guys, Robert Woods says, y'all heard of SoFi, right? You've seen me play at SoFi Stadium, but you might not know what SoFi does. They're coming out with 1% APY on checking and saving balances and no account fees. Now, that's how you break up with bad banking. SoFi.com/earn more, which I think is really, really cool. And again, I think spending the money on stuff like this, at least during this past weekend, was better than paying all that money for a Super Bowl ad. They get to have that call to action, calling out bad banking. They want to steal customers away from traditional banks and traditional financial institutions. They talk about 1% APY. They talk about, no account fees, all that good stuff. And it comes from people that, for the most part, people like or trust or whatever. I think this is really, really good, and I think this was cool to see. And I hope we see more of it in the future, for the sake of SoFi. Also, we have this. After the change, money is now banking in the app. You can see right here, it is SoFi with banking because they are SoFi Bank now. They got the bank charter, so that is also a really, really cool thing to see. One of the weirder stories of the whole day, though, was this. I think this might be one of the stupidest tweets I have ever seen, which is really, really saying something. You see a lot of stupid tweets on Twitter. This is coming from Bernie Sanders, and I'm not a big political person, regardless of what you think about Bernie or whatever. You love him, hate him. Just take this tweet for what it is. He said, how does it happen that SoFi, a student loan refinancing company, and again, that's not a great definition of SoFi. Does SoFi do student loan refinancing? Yes. Are they a student loan refinancing company? I mean, I guess technically, but that's a very, very narrow definition of what SoFi is. He's really, trying to drive a narrative here. Like, they are a financial institution. They are not a student loan refinancing company. Sure, whatever, again, technically correct, I guess, maybe not even. How does it happen that SoFi could spend $625 million to put its name on the LA Rams football stadium when 45 million Americans are drowning in $1.8 trillion in student debt? Today would be a good day for the president to cancel student debt. Now, super, super weird, because again, SoFi is the company that you like, even if you just want to say that they're a student loan refinancing company, that's it. They're just the company that you refinance your loan with. They're not the company that gives out the loan. They're not the company that sets the tuition at the school or charges you the money or anything like that. They're just the refinancer. And most of the time, especially recently with interest rates being low, they're the people refinancing and helping you get a lower interest rate and helping you save money and get better terms and all this stuff. Painting SoFi as the bad guy here, or the evil company, or this disgusting thing like, oh, you have $625 million to throw around, and there's $1.8 trillion in student debt. Like, that is so weird. This was such a random and stupid tweet. Like, okay, in principle, I get it. Like, yes, there's these companies spending all this money. We have people in huge student loan debt. Biden, said he was going to cancel student loan debt or whatever, and it's not happening. But what does this have to do with SoFi? Super, super weird. It's just Bernie, trying to rile up his people about, while the Super Bowl's going on, while it's in SoFi Stadium. But just a super, super weird tweet. And I know some people say, hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And yeah, sure, maybe, I guess. But, for people who don't know what SoFi is, or, for people on that side of things, this potentially could have been a bad look for SoFi, even though it's pretty much just a very, very weird, random, and stupid tweet. So I thought this was very strange to see, and I hope people don't take it at face value and have a negative connotation surrounding SoFi because they offer student loan refinancing, as do many other financial institutions, as a service to hopefully help benefit their customers and save them money in the long term. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.